How was it even possible that a 17-year-old was already being called one of the best footballers on the planet? At 17, Messi was still waiting for his big breakthrough. Ronaldo was only beginning to establish himself. But Lamine Yamal has already won La Liga, European Championship with Spain and broken dozens of records. He's already become the face of both Barcelona and Spanish football. And now with Spain in the 2026 World Cup Final, he's just one game away from completing a story that almost sounds too unbelievable to be real. This is the rise of Lamine Yamal. Every great football story has a beginning. Lamine's just happens to begin with one of the most iconic photos in football history. Back in 2007, Lionel Messi took part in a UNICEF charity photo shoot where he was asked to hold and bathe a baby. That baby was Lamine Yamal. Neither Messi nor anyone else could have imagined that years later, the same child would be compared to the Argentine legend himself. It's one of football's greatest coincidences. But despite the photo, Yamal's childhood wasn't glamorous. He grew up in Mataró, a town just outside Barcelona. His father, originally from Morocco, worked as a builder and had once dreamed of becoming a footballer himself. His mother, from Equatorial Guinea, worked long hours as a waitress. They became parents at a very young age and, like many families, struggled financially while trying to give their son every opportunity they could. Football quickly became Lamine's escape. Whether it was on the streets, beaches, or local pitches, he always had a ball at his feet. Even as a small child, there was something different about him. He wasn't just skillful, he looked calm, confident, as if pressure simply didn't exist. At just 4 years old, he joined local club CF La Torreta, where coaches immediately noticed his incredible balance, dribbling, and decision-making. Before turning 7, several Spanish clubs were already interested. Real Madrid, Espanyol, and Valencia all admired his talent. But Lamine only wanted one club, Barcelona. Ironically, his father supported Real Madrid and hoped his son could choose Los Blancos. But Lamine had different idols, Ronaldinho, Neymar, and above all, Lionel Messi. So he joined La Masia, Barcelona's famous academy, and from that moment, his rise became almost impossible to stop. Most talented youngsters eventually level out as everyone else catches up. That never happened with Lamine. According to coaches inside La Masia, he only became more dominant every single year. He skipped age groups, played against older kids, and still looked like the best player on the pitch. Despite becoming one of Spain's biggest youth prospects, nothing really changed away from football. He still spent time with his childhood friends, still played on the local pitches where he could, and remained remarkably humble. Eventually, Barcelona became so convinced of his potential that they offered him a place in La Masia's residence, allowing the club to carefully manage every aspect of his development. Then came the tournament that made people across Europe take notice. Playing against some of the biggest academies, Yamal dazzled defenders, helped Barcelona dominate the competition, and was named player of the tournament. Spain's youth coaches could no longer ignore him. Soon, he was representing the national team while still playing against opponents much older than himself. Yet once again, nothing seemed too difficult. By 2023, Barcelona manager Xavi had a decision to make. Lamine was only 15 years old. Normally, Barcelona would develop a player like this patiently, but circumstances were different. The club was dealing with serious financial problems, experienced players leaving, the squad needed fresh talent, and one teenager kept proving he belonged. During his first team training, reports claim Yamal was confidently taking on senior players like Jordi Alba, Gerard Piqué, and Sergio Busquets. He wasn't intimidated, he simply played football. Then, in April 2023, it finally happened. Against Real Betis, Xavi sent the teenager onto the pitch. At just 15 years and 290 days old, Lamine Yamal became one of the youngest players ever to play for Barcelona in La Liga. He nearly capped the debut with an assist. It was only a few minutes, but football had just met its next superstar. The following season, Barcelona didn't have much choice. Yamal became a regular starter. Week after week, he kept breaking records. Youngest starter, youngest assist provider, youngest player in El Clásico, youngest scorer in multiple competitions. Records almost became impossible to keep track of. But it wasn't just statistics. Fans noticed something else. Whenever Barcelona needed inspiration, the ball found Lamine. His confidence never disappeared, no matter the opponent, no matter the occasion. For someone still too young to even drive in many countries, he was already carrying one of the biggest clubs in world football. Then came the tournament that changed everything. Euro 2024. Spain arrived with Germany without being considered the favourites. England, France, Portugal, and Germany attracted far more attention. But game after game, Spain kept winning. Lamine kept improving. He produced assists, created chances, played without fear. Then came the semi-final against France. After France took the lead, the pressure was enormous. Most teenagers would hide. Lamine demanded the ball. From outside the box, he shifted onto his stronger foot and curled an unstoppable shot into the top corner. It instantly became one of the goals of the tournament. Spain completed the comeback and reached the final. Against England, Yamal once again delivered on the biggest stage, helping Spain secure the European Championship. At just 17 years old, he had already conquered Europe. Returning to Barcelona, his confidence only grew. Under Hansi Flick, Barcelona played fearless attacking football, and Yamal became the centerpiece. He tormented defenders, produced goals and assists, and repeatedly delivered against Real Madrid in El Clásico. While Madrid assembled one of the most expensive squads in football history, Barcelona's young stars kept finding ways to beat them. Lamine wasn't just living up to the hype anymore, he was becoming one of the best players in the world. Every match seemed to produce another viral moment, another unbelievable dribble, another impossible pass. Another reminder that age means very little when talent is this extraordinary. Now, his biggest challenge has arrived. Spain are through to the 2026 FIFA World Cup Final, one victory away from adding a World Cup to a career that has barely even begun. Standing on the other side is Argentina, the reigning world champions, and potentially Lionel Messi. The same Lionel Messi who unknowingly held baby Lamine Yamal in his arms nearly 2 decades ago. Football couldn't have written a better script. The greatest player of one generation against a teenager many believe could lead the next. Whether this truly becomes a passing of the torch moment or simply another chapter in Messi's legendary career, one thing is certain. Lamine Yamal has already achieved more than most professionals accomplish in an entire lifetime. And somehow, it still feels like this is only the beginning.